Shotguns don't have to break the bank to be reliable, versatile, and downright fun to shoot. In fact, they're some of the most affordable categories of firearms, with some models that can be bought for less than $200. Some of these gems even come in at under $120. Yes, you heard that right. You could be into hunting, busting clays, or just looking for a reliable home defense firearm. There are plenty of great choices out there that won't break the bank. In this video, we're diving into the top 10 budget shotguns of 2025, showcasing models that give you the most bang for your buck. I've always believed that a single-shot 12-gauge can be one of the most straightforward, budget-friendly ways to get into shotguns, and the Hatfield SGL proves it. You can often snag one for just under $100, sometimes even $99 at places like Walmart, which is a steal for anyone on a tight budget. This little break action might not have all the bells and whistles, but it gets the job done without fuss. What sets the Hatfield SGL apart for me is its unique break barrel design, where the trigger guard doubles as the release lever. That's a cool, simple mechanism that adds a touch of flair. It's also surprisingly robust for its price, sporting a modified choke and enough backbone to handle slugs if you ask it to. Now, I won't sugarcoat it. The trigger pull can feel hefty, and the recoil hits harder than some more expensive single shots. But let's be real. At this price point, that's hardly a deal breaker. Over the years, I've seen and heard plenty of folks praise its durability. Keep it clean, and it'll last you a good long while. Is it perfect? Heck no. But for a dirt cheap, just works shotgun, the Hatfield SGL should tide you over until you can buy yourself something better. I remember when I first laid eyes on the GF2P from GeForce Arms, couldn't believe a pump-action 12-gauge with this many features was going for around $200. GeForce, based in Nevada, brings these in from Turkey, and they've carved out a niche for themselves by offering wallet-friendly shotguns geared toward American shooters. The GF2P is one of their top sellers, and it's easy to see why. From day one, folks have been talking up its reliability. It cycles buckshot, birdshot, and everything in between without much fuss, though I'd recommend a quick break-in at the range before staking your life on it. That soft recoil pad sure is a blessing if you plan on sending shells downrange all afternoon, and the pistol grip gives you a confident hold. Add in a Picatinny rail up front, and you're basically set to slap on a lighter laser for home defense. Of course, there are a couple quirks. Some people say the trigger feels a bit scratchy, and the foreign texture can be slick if your hands get sweaty. But hey, at this price, I'm willing to live with a little roughness around the edges. I've always had a soft spot for budget ripoffs, anything that offer all the guts of a known design without the hefty price tag. The H&R Parner 12-gauge is exactly that, a solid workhorse that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Street prices usually hover around $175, and for that kind of money, you get a shotgun that's straightforward, dependable, and surprisingly robust. Here's the thing. The Parner is basically a Chinese-made clone of the famous Remington 870, imported by Harrington and Richardson. Now, normally I'm skeptical of clones, but this one really nails the reliability and durability factor. I've seen guys put countless rounds through theirs, with minimal cleaning, and these shotguns just keep on chugging along. The metal internals and smooth pump action stand out in a price range where corners are often cut. Granted, there's nothing flashy about it. The finish is nothing to write home about, and the factory sights are as basic as it gets. But if you're like me, you care more about whether a shotgun works than whether it glistens in the gun safe. The Parner's got your back. The Stevens 320 is no stranger to the budget shotgun conversation, and it's been around long enough to prove its worth. The price tag, which typically sits below $300 alone, makes it attractive, especially when you consider that you can sometimes find combo packages with an extra barrel for turkey or deer. That's a big plus if you're like me and want a single shotgun to handle multiple tasks around the property or out in the field. As part of the Savage Arms family, Stevens benefits from a legacy of no-nonsense firearms that just plain work. I've always appreciated that because when I grab a shotgun, I want it to run without any fuss. The 320 features a 3-inch chamber for heavier loads, a rotating bolt head that helps with consistent lockup, and it's even drilled and tapped if you feel like mounting optics or a rail. The folks I've talked to online generally praise it for reliability and an all-around user-friendly feel. There are some minor complaints. The pump could glide a bit smoother, and the ergonomics might not fit everybody's hands like a glove. But for the money, it's hard to knock the 320. A pump-action 12-gauge is one of the most versatile firearms anyone can own, and the Escort Slugger nails that concept at a price that won't scare off newcomers. Typically listing for around $210 to $220, I've spotted these on sale for even less, which is a heck of a deal if you need a dependable shotgun for home defense or general shooting fun. What really earns my respect is how sturdy the Slugger is for the money. Built by Hatsan under the Escort name, these shotguns come with a chrome-lined barrel for rust resistance and a comfortable recoil pad that spares your shoulder during longer range sessions. Plus, the 5+1 capacity isn't anything to sneeze at if you're concerned about having enough shells on tap. Some versions even include a pistol grip and shell holder for folks who want a more tactical setup. I've seen shooters mention that the sights are pretty basic, but for most pump gun purposes, a simple bead or groove does the job. If you really need fancy optics, there are ways to mount them. All in all, this is one of those shotguns I point to when someone says they want a reliable 12-gauge on a lean budget. It's not flashy, but it doesn't need to be. I remember first hearing about the Mossberg Maverick 88 from a buddy who swore up and down that you couldn't find a better budget pump-action shotgun. Sure enough, I gave it a try and was pretty blown away. With an MSRP of about $240 and street prices closer to $200 even, the Maverick 88 definitely gives you a lot of bang for your buck. It's been around for years, earning respect as a no-frills version of the venerable Mossberg 500. One of my favorite things about the 88 is that it shares many components with the 500. So if you want to tweak it, there's a wide selection of aftermarket stocks, foreigns, and even barrels you can swap in. Granted, the action might not be silky smooth right out of the box, and the synthetic furniture can feel a little cheap. But that doesn't change the fact that this gun cycles reliably, feeds pretty much any 12-gauge shell you throw at it, and offers plenty of stopping power for home defense. As far as I'm concerned, the Maverick 88 is one of the best choices out there if you're on a strict budget, but still want a shotgun with plenty of upgrade potential. It's straightforward, functional, and well worth a look if you're hunting for an affordable defensive workhorse. The Winchester SXP is built like a tank, yet still feels lean in the hands. With an MSRP hovering around $390, it often goes on sale for less, which is a solid deal when you factor in its reputation for durability. Winchester's been around forever and has one of the strongest track records in the shotgun world, so I had high expectations when I first tried the SXP, and it didn't disappoint. What really stands out is the action. The SXP's pump is slick as can be, making follow-up shots quick and easy. The design includes a 3-inch chamber, multiple chokes in the box, and a nifty auto-eject feature that feels faster than many competitors. It's a powerhouse for hunting, sporting clays, or home defense. Take your pick. That versatility, plus Winchester's storied history, gives me confidence that I can rely on it for a variety of tasks without worry. Shooters online often praise the SXP's sturdy construction and comfortable ergonomics. While some mention the grip can get slippery when your palms sweat, and a few have reported the occasional failure to eject when really flying through shells, the overwhelming majority of owners still believe it's a first-rate pump gun that's well worth the price. Next up, let's talk about the TriStar Cobra. 3/4 has MSRP that hovers around $200, and street prices sometimes dipping as low as $150. This thing's an absolute steal if you're after a shotgun that can handle everything from campsite defense to weekend range sessions. TriStar's been in the import business for a while now, bringing in shotguns from Turkey that tend to punch above their price point. What I really like about the Cobra 3/4 is its spring-assisted pump action, makes cycling shells quick and smooth, especially for a budget gun. You get a 3-inch chamber, a fiber optic front sight, and a ghost ring rear sight, which can come in handy for fast target acquisition. Plus, there's a Picatinny rail on top if you feel like adding an optic or light. The tactical choke included in the box is another cool feature, letting you experiment with different loads. Now it's not without its downsides. The plastic trigger guard and the slight barrel wiggle might raise some eyebrows, but I've seen countless reports of this thing running like a champ. So for the price, those small complaints don't faze me. I spotted a JTSX 12PT in a gun shop a few months ago. It was priced so low I had to do a double take. With an MSRP of around $200, these pump-action shotguns can sometimes dip below the $120 mark, which is just wild in today's market. Manufactured in China, the X12PT borrows heavily from the legendary Remington 870 design, meaning you can switch out a bunch of 870 parts if you're looking to customize. That's a huge perk for anyone who wants to trick out their shotgun without dropping a fortune. For what it is, the X12PT feels pretty solid. Online discussions often highlight its good reliability on standard loads, though some folks say you might run into minor hiccups when using hand loads or off-brand shells. Personally, I think it's worth sticking to name-brand ammo anyway, especially if home defense is on your mind. Plus, there's a cylinder bore barrel, which gives you the flexibility to fire both slugs and buckshot without worrying about messing up a choke. Sure, it's got a plastic trigger guard and a MIM extractor to help keep the price down, but I haven't come across any major issues with those. If you're looking for a project gun, a backup home defense rig, or just an affordable shotgun to mess around with, the JTS X12PT is tough to beat for the money. If you'd told me a few years back that I could pick up a semi-auto 12 gauge for around $300 and still count on it to run reliably, I probably would have given you some serious side-eye. But the Rock Island Armory X4 changed my tune. Manufactured by Turkish gunmaker Derya Arms and brought stateside by Rock Island Armory, this shotgun has built a solid following among shooters who want a dependable semi-auto without dumping their life savings. Rock Island Armory is already well-liked for making value-driven firearms, and the X4 fits right into that sweet spot. I've watched plenty of folks feed this thing everything from high-brass hunting loads to the lightest target shells, and most agree that the cycling is smooth once you break it in a bit. The ghost ring sights are a welcome addition for quick target acquisition, and there's room for easy mods like a magazine extension or some basic cosmetic upgrades. The stock can feel a little plasticky, but that's not a deal breaker for me, especially at this price. The big plus here is reliability. For around $300, it's tough to complain when the gun consistently goes bang every time I pull the trigger. If you're after a budget-friendly semi-auto you can trust for home defense or casual range use, the X4 deserves a solid look. And that's all I have for you in this video. From single-shot break actions to wallet-friendly semis, we've explored a lineup of shotguns that deliver some serious bang for your buck. Want a dependable tool for home defense, turkey hunting, or just good old-fashioned fun at the range? There are budget-friendly boomsticks out there that prove performance doesn't have to come with a steep price tag. But I'm curious to know which of the shotguns on my list caught your eye. Sound off in the comments and hit like, share this video, and be sure to subscribe for more amazing firearms content. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching.